Hello folks, my name is Jen. I'm from Golden State Times. Welcome back to the newsroom, and today I have a breaking news story. This one has to do with the coronavirus. It has to do with the WHO and China. You heard it right, folks. This comes courtesy of the Washington Examiner, and it says U.S. and allies question integrity of the WHO/China report on the coronavirus origins. You heard it right, folks. Let's get right into it. And it says the United States and 13 allies question the credibility of the World Health Organization's new report on the coronavirus pandemic, challenging China's transparency about the origins of the contagion. Now, over a month ago, here at Golden State Times, we reported that the WHO was going to send researchers to Wuhan, China. Now, they couldn't get in there since the beginning, since they wanted to, because China and the CCP blocked access into the country. They said, oh, your paperwork hasn't been filed correctly. There's a problem with your passports. Unforeseen circumstances has delayed us to approve your paperwork. Now, once the paperwork was actually accepted and everything was good, the researchers landed in China. Now, what did the CCP do? They put them into quarantine for over 2 weeks. 2 weeks plus. Nobody asked. The WHO didn't ask. Nobody asked, why was this happening? They just let it happen. Let's keep going with this report. China restricted access to information about the virus in the early days of the pandemic, stoking American suspicion that the virus might have leaked out of a government-affiliated virology lab near the city where the contagion was first detected. We're talking about Wuhan. Chinese officials hope that the WHO report will reduce that allegation. But Beijing's early success in manipulating the WHO has raised skepticism in democratic countries about the Global Health Agency's independence. Don't forget what President Trump always said. The WHO cannot be trusted. They are working for China. That is his words, not mine. He said the WHO is in the pockets of China, in the deep, deep pockets of China. So, the allies said in a joint statement released by the Secretary of State Antony Blinken's team, that is the State Department of Joe Biden, of the Joe Biden administration. And he said, quote, or they said, quote, we join in expressing shared concerns regarding the recent WHO convened study in China. It says, with such an important mandate, it is equally essential that we voice our shared concerns that the international expert study on the source of the coronavirus was significantly delayed and lacked access to complete original data and samples. Once the researchers came into the country, were quarantined for 2 weeks, they asked about the early samples and information regarding the coronavirus prior to Wuhan being shut down completely. And what did China and the CCP do? They said, no, you can't have that information. I'm sorry. Was there pushback from the WHO, from the United States, or any of the other allied countries? No, there wasn't. There was absolutely no pushback from them at all. They went on to say, quote, scientific missions like these should be able to do their work under conditions that produce independent and objective recommendations and findings. The allies said, quote, we share these concerns not only for the benefit of learning all we can about the origins of this pandemic, but also to lay a pathway to a timely, transparent, and evidence-based process for the next phase of this study, as well as for the next health crisis. So how can the WHO be trusted that in future crises, pandemics, or anything like that, we can stop it? or we can learn something from what happened during the coronavirus. If the WHO is not going to put any pressure on China to get the early information about the pandemic, how it started in Wuhan, what happened during the first couple of weeks before they actually shut down Wuhan, how can they be trusted? It says that the WHO China report assesses that it is extremely unlikely that the virus leaked out of the nearby Wuhan Institute of Virology. WHO Director General Tedros expressed dissatisfaction with the report and downplayed the authority of the investigation. So Tedros said in a press briefing, "I do not believe that this assessment was intensive enough," according to him. Let me say clearly that as far as the WHO is concerned, all hypotheses are on the table, including the hypothesis that it leaked from the laboratory. A senior Chinese diplomat dismissed the lab leak hypothesis as one of the many lies against China that the Chinese foreign minister alleges have been told by Western officials. So they're saying Trump, but without saying Trump, pretty much. And they said, quote, "If you think about it, since the outbreak of COVID-19, how many lies and rumors have been thrown against China and told by certain politicians, leaders, and lawmakers in the US and Europe, including those about China's lab leak and that they made the virus." So that was said by Chinese Foreign Minister Hua Shujing before suggesting that there's still a big question mark over a U.S. Army lab in Maryland. So deflecting. The CCP is deflecting. Now they're saying, don't look at the Wuhan lab. The Wuhan lab has nothing to do with this. Focus on the U.S. Army lab in Maryland. An American member of the WHO's investigative team confirmed that the investigation into the lab leak hypothesis was limited to asking the lab officials if the contagion emerged from there and trusting them in when they denied it. Now, was there any pushback? Did the WHO really look into it? No. They just went up to the people working at the Wuhan lab and said, "Hey guys, by any chance did the virus leak from here?" "No, it didn't." "Okay, cool. Let's just stare out the floor for another 45 minutes and say that we actually did some investigation." That is what happened. No pushback. No real investigation. Deflection. And blocking. That is all China did during this whole quote-unquote investigation. Tedros says that all hypotheses are on the table. But will they actually do something? No, they won't. Absolutely not. Why? Because there's a leader at the White House that not only does not care, but put us back into position where we were before President Trump came in and said, "Hey, the WHO cannot be trusted. We need to not only take out funding, but we need to step away from these people because they're in the pockets of China, working for China." So let us know what you guys think in the comment section below. Can the WHO be trusted? Can this so-called report regarding the origins of the coronavirus from the Wuhan lab and all that stuff that was conducted by the WHO be trusted? Should China be punished? This is a question. Should China be punished for even insinuating that the coronavirus came from a U.S. Army lab in Maryland? Let me know in the comment section below. If you guys like this report, make sure you smack a like on it. You click the thumbs up button. For more information on this, breaking news reports, politics, and everything else, make sure you go to our website, goldenstatetimes.com, www.goldenstatetimes.com. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and you click that bell. Follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us here at the newsroom. My name is Jen Goldstein, and I hope to see you guys here on the next one. But until then, peace.